Hi everyone, welcome to the Good to Talk presentation. So my name is Jessica and I am this year's UTSC Good to Talk co-president. And today we'll just be talking a little bit more about what we do as a UTSC Good to Talk, as well as we'll give a little bit more information about what the Good to Talk hotline offers. So there's a couple ways to reach Good to Talk, the hotline. So you can either call the number 1-866-925-5454 or connect to them through 211, or you can use the text service by texting Good to Talk ON to 686868. Okay, so let's start by telling you guys a little bit more about what Good to Talk is. So it's a Good to Talk is a post-secondary student support hotline. So it offers a free confidential service to post-secondary students in Ontario. And there's alternative service available to students in Nova Scotia as well. But both services are available 24/7, 365 days a year. And by calling that number or texting the crisis text line, which is powered by Kids Help Phone, post-secondary students in Ontario or in Nova Scotia, if you're using the other lines and numbers, can receive professional counseling and services, as well as information on external referrals for mental health, addictions, well-being, and anything else you want to talk about to them. So in general, how the calling number will work is you'll call the number and you'll generally be asked to select your preferred language, either English or French. And then the Good to Talk information and referral specialist will answer that question or those questions and about the phone service. So then they'll be there when you first call. And then based on those responses to their questions, they'll be able to assess your needs and determine what's the best available resources that we have at Good to Talk for your request. So some of the things they might offer you will be a single session counseling service with a Good to Talk counselor. So they'll redirect you there to a Good to Talk counselor on the phone, or they might get a community-based referral. So based on your location or the school or campus that you mentioned, they might say what resources are nearby that location, for example. So that's, again, based on what you tell them. And they'll generally look for that sort of thing. If you're looking for example, if you tell them, I'm looking for more ways to connect with peers, for example, then they might give you some resources there. Or if you're looking for a specific situation, they, of course, might give you resources there as well. Another option they might, or a combination of options, is referral to a mental health and addiction specialist. So they might connect you to that person on the phone or give you their contact information just so they can provide you with more personalized services and information and care as well. So it depends on what your needs are and what's available at that time, but they'll provide you support, or anyway, it's just a good chance to talk to someone about anything at all. So again, so what is Good to Talk? So of course, again, it's a completely confidential phone counseling service or text service. And the phone counseling service is also completely anonymous. So the Good to Talk phone helpline doesn't require any identifying information. So unless you need referrals to other services or resources in the community, then that information might be requested of you so they can help responders plan and arrange any necessary referral requests. But the post-secondary student organization, so UTSC, for example, will not know that you've called Good to Talk. And the helpline staff will not be able to identify you based on your phone number. And again, they'll only have information that you choose to share with them. So if you call them and say you're a UTSC student, that's the only way they'll know that you're from UTSC. Okay, so the next part is about the text line in specifically. So the crisis text line is powered by Kids Help Phone, and Kids Help Phone works together with the Good to Talk team because it's sort of a branch under it, and it's like an organization altogether. So the texting service is completely confidential, but it is not anonymous. So the crisis responders themselves will not be able to access your phone number. So the people that are responding to your messages will not be able to identify you, and they can only access information that you choose to share with them. However, in certain circumstances, a texting supervisor may need to require access to information, and that's only done so when it's absolutely necessary for your safety or for the safety of others if they foresee any need critically for mediation. So they have access to that information, but generally it won't be looked at, and the crisis responders will not be the ones who have access to that information. Okay. So this isn't a chance that we normally transition, talk a little bit more about ourselves as the UTSC Good to Talk chapter. But if there's any questions, I just wanted to let you know here that you can always email us at utscgoodtotalk@gmail.com for any questions about anything that we've talked about today, or to get more involved, which we'll discuss a little bit more afterwards. So these are just some of the promotional items that Good to Talk has. So the one on the left is pretty traditional. So that's what generally they're like in little cards that are like business card size. So that's about the hotline and some of the resources that are available and things that you can talk about. So anything from relationships, disability supports, legal concerns, financial stresses, anything that's like stressful to you and you want to talk about, you can talk to a Good to Talk counselor about. On the right side, it's a bit about an example of the things you can talk about through the text line. So if you are stressing out about a roommate, or if you think you're worried about a certain exam, that's something that you can talk to volunteer crisis responders about through text. So anything at all, if you have any stresses that you just want to vent to, I think it's a great opportunity and a great chance to use these resources. Okay, so that's a lot about Good to Talk as an organization. So what's UTSC Good to Talk about? So the UTSC Good to Talk team consists of UTSC students. So we work hand in hand with organizations on the campus. So mental health organizations in particular. So mental health groups such as jack.org, Mental Unity Group, etc. As well, we work with campus resources. So we work directly and really closely with the Health and Wellness Center and other organizations or student groups on campus. Of course, we're also connected to the Good to Talk organization themselves. So we work closely with Good to Talk Ontario and their campus representatives who are also students at UTSC. So in general, they work with us as a team to provide resources and promote their hotline. Okay, so if you look there, that's just some of the tabling activities that we've done. So there you can see some of the physical resources we have. So then we have the long cards, the smaller business card size cards, and just opportunity to tell people and other people about Good to Talk as a hotline and offer some tips and tricks and different activities to de-stress. So that's some of the things that our club does. So tabling at events on campus. So if it was not virtual, we will be doing this physically at a table and having students walk by and ask questions. We also run different de-stressor activities. So either like a games night, for example, a recreational night, or other virtual activities that we think we're going to work on this year. So some of the things that we did when we were physically there in person was minute mindfulness. So at one of our tabling events, we had a noise canceling headset available. And then they're able to play some mindfulness clips. And that just gives people a chance, students a chance to have a quick relaxation break as they walk by. And we do this typically during reading week or other stressful times for students. Other things that we've done in the past was positivity envelopes. So that was also during our reading week, I believe. And at that point, we just wrote really kind notes and of positivity into some messages and letters. And then we had them put into various high stress areas on campus. So a study area, for example, we'd put some there, or we'd go to the library and distribute it to people specifically. So it's a really good chance just for people to have a nice laugh or a nice feeling of warmth and when they're really stressfully studying, for example. And the last thing we sort of do a lot is collaborations. So again, we work with other UTSC clubs, do events like this, supporting health and wellness. And upcoming, we have an event collaboration with jack.org, and that's going to be called Let's Talk Quarantine. So that's one of our newer events, I think. I don't think anything like that's been done before. And during that event, we'll have different speakers from health and wellness, their organization, our organization, and just it'll be a chance to talk about mental health and specifically the impact of quarantine on mental health. So we have speakers that are professionals there, and they will be talking about what they know and what they foresee and how to best combat it. So that's really exciting. That's something we'll talk a little bit more about after. So of course, how else can you get involved? So our club is always looking for volunteers. So you will help plan and run Good to Talk's future events. So as well, being involved, you'll receive a CCR credit, which stands for the co-curricular record credit. So if at the end of the year you participated sufficiently in our club events, you'll receive credit that will go on a specific separate CCR record. So hopefully by now you have the chance to copy the link if you're interested, but we'll open it up just to show you what the form looks like. So this is what the form looks like. And so when you sign up, we'll be looking at the emails and we'll reach out to you specifically if we have events in the future that we need help on. So we'll need volunteers to facilitate and run our future events and to plan for them as well. So if, for example, we have another tabling event or have a recreational event and we need more people supporting it, you might be called out to help support that as well. So you just need to enter your email address, your name, and if you would like to be contacted about executive positions in the future. And here is just for any ideas you might have about events for the upcoming semesters as well. So let's just go back to that and then showcase that a little bit more. And of course, if you missed the link, you can always email us at our email. So utscgoodtotalk@gmail.com to get that link or ask any other questions you might have. Okay, so how can you get even more involved, right? So we are hiring this year for 2 different positions. So we're looking for an extra director of outreach. So what that person will do is they'll work with our marketing team, so our marketing directors, and have opportunities to create visuals for promotional materials, as well as they're generally the ones that will contact other people, so other organizations. So for example, something that our outreach director did was contact Good to Talk Ontario and set up that meeting, for example. In terms of the director of volunteering, he'll be in charge of running the volunteer events. So working with the volunteers, responding to any emails or concerns that they have, and just helping set that part up for them. So that's a newer role as well, and as well as volunteers. So I think there's going to be a lot of collaboration and formulating what that will look like. So it's a great opportunity to work closely with our team. So please, if you want more information about that, please follow our pages. So you can look up UTSC Good to Talk on Facebook as well as on Instagram. And I can just show you some of what that looks like. But there we'll be posting more about events and opportunities in the future, as well as, of course, things that are available for you. So how to apply for different roles, for example. And the steps you need to take. Okay, and this is what our Instagram page looks like. So there we have this is only for this year. So we only start posting this year. So everything else is archived. But we're going to begin posting more tips and tricks and having things like Mental Health Monday, for example. So just a bit more casual posting, not necessarily about events, but just mental health related stuff. Okay, so that's there. I can go back to this. And again, if you have any specific questions or interests, you can email us at utscgoodtotalk@gmail.com, and then we will be able to follow up there. So just again, we just showed you our Instagram page. So it'll be great if you can follow our Instagram and Facebook pages, like our most recent post, just so we know how many people actually viewed this presentation. That would be great to know. And you'll be first to know about different things like weekly mental health posts. opportunities to get involved and updates with the club. And you'll be first to know about other Good to Talk events and collaborations that we'll be doing, as well as you'll be in the know for other chances to win prizes and participate in other fun activities. Okay, so just a little bit more about the upcoming event that we're really excited for, and that will be going on the Tuesday of Reading Week, so Tuesday, October 13th, and the event is titled Let's Talk Quarantine. So we'll be working with the jack.org organization, and for that event, we'll have things like discussions and presentations, as well as Q&A sessions about mental health and coping during quarantine. So for the last however months it's been, what's that impact on students and people in general, and how can we sort of deal with and manage how we're feeling during this time. So we'll have speakers from UTSC's Men's Health and Wellness team. So that will be Dr. Rashid. We'll have a representative from jack.org and Good to Talk Ontario. And the goal of this event is just to create an opportunity for students to participate and discuss how they're managing their mental health during quarantine, ask the professionals any questions, and just for awareness of different resources that we have available at the school, at places like jack.org, as well as the Good to Talk organization as well. So there's the timeline. So for half an hour, Amy will talk, who is a jack.org representative. And then for another half an hour, UTSC's Mental Health and Wellness, Dr. Rashid will be talking. And then we'll have another half an hour for the Good to Talk representative, Megan. And then at the end, from 12 to 12:30, we'll be running some sort of virtual activity. So it'll be a game of sorts. So either it'll be probably something like Codenames or Among Us, which are either browser games or games that you can that are free for access in the App Store, for example. So that's just up to, I think we'll try to split into 2 breakout rooms. So then in your breakout room, you can figure it out yourselves and be able to plan that. So lots of flexibility, and also the discussions and talks will be very interesting to hear about. So we're really looking forward to that. So then some of the things you can do right now is you can follow our pages or UTSC's jack.org team's pages. And you can also sign up soon, I think, on the Mental Wellness Month calendar or website. So then there you might see the posting, and you can also sign up there and just check back to our pages for any other details and for a chance to submit questions as well. So how we're going to do it is we're going to post a Google form onto our Facebook pages or Instagram pages, and you'll be able to access that and be able to submit questions there. So really looking forward to that event. And I just want to reiterate that if you have any questions about Good to Talk, that event, other mental health resources that are available on campus, or even joining our team or anything else at all, please feel free to email us at utscgoodtotalk@gmail.com. All right, so thank you so much for listening to my presentation. And again, you can follow us on social media, on UTSC Good to Talk on Facebook and Instagram. And thanks.